Hello guys, welcome back, and this is Osmosis FX, and this week was an amazing week, the first week of July, which was awesome. Not much news. The market was cool, was great. Did we make profit? Yeah, we made some profit, as much as we have loved to make a lot, but we thank God for what we've got, which is okay. All right, so let's go into gold for this week. I had to change this broker that I'm using because it doesn't align with my MT5. I'm seeing something else on my chart, and when I go to my MT5, I'm seeing something else. So I had to, over the week, look for the broker that is closely related to the one I have on my chart. And here I have FOREX.com. FOREX.com is extremely closely to what I have on my file, so I had to restart my analysis all over again, and after which I've done that, I saw some mistakes on my previous analysis, and I quickly make adjustments to those mistakes. So let's go into gold. Let's see what we have for gold. So we already know gold has been bullish for a couple of while. We already know that gold has been bullish, so let's examine the opportunities we have for more buy actions on gold. So let's go down to weekly. Now we've broken out of this higher high on the monthly zone, and we are heading for a new higher high. So let me go back to monthly zone and show forth my expectation. This is the previous higher high to the previous higher high. Let's previous higher high to the previous higher high. So then I bring it down here, previous higher high to the previous higher high. So it's also giving me something closely related. So let me bring this. You can see we have something closely related. So it means that that zone is supposed to respond to what it's doing. So okay, so let's go down to weekly. I already locked it. Okay, I have. Let's go back to weekly. So I previously have a weekly selection in that zone, so let me remove it off. From the weekly view, what do I have? I have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So weekly already correlates with my monthly, still saying we are bullish. So immediately price take off from here. We have this morning star, and price had an equal low here. I thought price took that morning star out, but it's looking like no, it looks like price didn't take it out. This is the low of the morning star. Oh, price didn't take it out. I think from a few inch is remaining. So with this morning star, I thought we are going straight. I don't know, the price is retracing. So price retraced back to the sponsor of this move. So let's go down to daily. I think it's a little bit more clear on daily, but on the weekly we can see that we are still following the bullish setup, which still signifies that we are still buying to the upside. We are still bullish, we are buying to the upside. That's what the weekly is still saying, aligning with the monthly. So we have higher highs, higher lows. We are looking for a new higher high, breaking out of this monthly zone, which is about 3,005. We are breaking out of 3,500, so we are looking forward to buying. So let's go down to daily. This is where everything changed on daily, because I need to take my time to study daily time frame and realize that I made some mistakes. And let me explain those mistakes, because when I saw it, I was like, okay, it's not bad. Previously, when market got here, this was where market changed its course, because market was bearish down here, and previously this was the previous low. This was the previous low, so we have a lower low. When market got down to a lower low, we were supposed to make a lower highs, but market did what? Market pulled and changed. So when market tapped in with this hammer candle, we have a rally based rally formation. which is supposed to make its own end and come back into it before we see a move continuation. So I already thought this move already did the damage of coming back. Meanwhile, on the normal hand, this move is still part of this this move is still part of this first move. This move like this, then we are back in here and we are extending to the upside. So this was the mistake I did. Meanwhile, I was what I was doing was price that has already moved. Yeah, we are going. So let's reject around this area and make up the final moment. So which was where the mistake came from. So I realized that, oh, I was the one that made the mistake and I need to go back and readjust my mistake. So this was the base of this movement. Price changed its course here. This was the person responsible for changing to higher high. So we have higher low, lower high, lower low. Then we now have higher high. So this is the person responsible for it, and price came back into a tap and continued to move. The major retracement now is this one. This is the major retracement. This one is just part of this first move, and this is the major retracement. So this was where I realized that, oh, I was the one that made a mistake. I focused on the fact that price revisited. Normally, when price change course, price always revisits it. Sometimes it makes it look as an inducement, it makes it as a liquidity, but sometimes price revisits the base that makes the change of character. So this base was revisited 2 months ago, and we are now in it in July again. So this base has shown buyers intent, and we are looking forward to continue yes, we're looking forward to continue the fight for the buyers. I'm looking forward to see more buys on this trade as of next week. So I'm looking forward to more buys on gold. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to more buys on gold as price has tapped into my area of interest. Price has tapped into my area of interest, and I want to see more continuation buys on gold. So let's look into it a little bit deeper. This is higher low, so we are looking for continuation of higher high. So let's say I measure this move. Let's say I measure this move here. Let's say I measure this change here from here to here. Let's say I measure it is almost 9, and the next zone, yeah, you see the next zone should be around this area. So let me pin this down on this current time frame. Yeah, so expectation is I expect price to buy up to this zone, meaning price should break out of these higher highs and continue in buy setup. So we still have about from here down to here, we still have about 2,000 pips on gold. So let's look into how we could benefit from the 2,000 pips on gold that we are expecting. And also validation for this is this moving average, this 50 moving average supported it here, and came back to support here. So it gave me a more clue that, oh, this base has surely given out. You see, sometimes I don't like when price visits a base with wicks. You see, personally I don't like it, but gold has its way of doing its own thing. I personally don't like it. I prefer price coming and closing inside the base than weaken the base. That's one of my go-to. I prefer price to come in, close inside that base, not just come in and weak out. No, I want you to close inside that base, but still the same. This is a weekly time frame, and price it coming as much as possible. So let's go into my entry time frame, which is the 4-hour. Yeah, I'm sorry if I break your heart, but 4-hour is my entry time frame. So this is my entry time frame. Last week we were selling, we had a lot of sell profit in these zones down here. We sold a lot. Where can I remember? I think it was in 1 hour time frame. I guess it was 1 hour. I guess it was 1 hour time frame. Yeah, but there were a lot of sell setups here that we caught. I think I dropped it in my group. Caught some around this area down here. I caught some trades, and also I caught this buy trade yesterday around here, but I closed early because it's Friday. I didn't allow it to meet up with the 90% rule. This is the 90% rule, but I didn't allow it. This was my entry as of I think it was late night. What time is it? I knew I went to bed. Okay, I think it was 5 p.m. This is 9 p.m. I went to bed and I woke up. Price was I think price was around here when I woke up. Instead of adding more, I just let it that maybe price was too, because it didn't come into this zone properly. So I closed around, I think around here. I just closed around there because it's Friday. I just closed around there. Why? Because there was no proper push for me. There was no proper push, and I was saying that even when I knew that price has to make this 90-degree target profit, but because of the way price is moving, price didn't move push with a lot of push. But if you look at how price closes bullish. But when you were in that trade, I was seeing something. When I was in the trade, I was saying that this price is not pushing. Probably there's no more news. There's nothing. I just entered there. When I woke up, I saw profit. I just locked my profits around here and I left it. So when price was around here, I just closed it. I don't want to hold this trade to weekend, and more so I was busy with something else at that moment, so I just need to close it and just forget about it for the week. But let's come back to why. Oh, this was the sell setup, not this one. See me, this was the sell setup. So when price came here, we had rally base, rally formation. Also from the weekly came we have drop base, drop formation. Price started selling from this zone, from this base here. So started selling here. I cut some sales from here. I cut another one here. So I told my group that when price gets to this zone, buyers should come in. So immediately price closed like this, I didn't enter. And why didn't I enter? I was waiting for a switch of higher highs, higher lows. Then so when I saw this higher low here, closing bullish engulfing, then I was in. In fact, I called it out on a 1 hour time frame, but I entered on a 4 hour time frame, because let's go back to 1 hour. I saw it on a 1 hour time frame because one of my, yes, this was where I saw it. This was where I saw this switch. When I saw this switch, I knew this is price has switched. Guys, one of my students was pointing me how to sell in this area, and I told the guy, well, it's a good sell, but I'm more interested in the buy. So I was watching how the sell plays out from this corrective move. Price corrected, started selling, gave all the best sell. So I was still expecting when price retraced here, this candle here should close bearish, so it signified that we are coming deep. But when I saw a collective, wow, that was when I knew that, oh guys, buyers have stepped in. Oh. I'm no more selling. I'm not interested in the sell, although. So I said this was supposed to be the entry for 1 hour, but I saw it late. After the close of that 1 hour, that was when I knew that, oh, price has started. Then I came to 4 hour. As 4 hour closes, I tapped into 4 hour. My stop loss was below here, and we moved. I went to bed. We moved, and I closed around there, which was not supposed to be. I was supposed to close on my trade here, but it was a good one. And backtesting this trade, I realized that I could have entered multiple times. This should have been my first entry. This should have been my second entry, and this would have been my third entry. Why didn't I enter here? I didn't enter here because this candle did not, I didn't look out for this candle, just because this candle was not giving me that bullish hammer. This gave me more hammer than this. If I had entered here, it would have been a drawdown for me, though. It would have been a drawdown for me, but from my back testing, I realized, okay, it's better not to have entered here. I would have entered on this hammer candle, and I would have had just this 3 entry on my target to be here, and it would have been a good trade. But all the same, it was just after which everything happened, I came back and started back testing. Oh, that would have been a good one. But all the same, I only had 1 entry at this zone, and I closed early. I closed very early around here because it's Friday. I don't like Friday stories. So now I marked these zones also because we should see some reaction in these 2 zones. These are the sales that push price come back to this zone. So I'm expecting to see some reaction in these 2 zones. Those reactions are probably not. They're not reactions I want to take, though. They're not sales zones that I want to take. They're just areas. They're just areas that I like to look out for continuation, because there should be a flip in those areas. So this is the present zone I'm looking out for this week. If price comes back in here, we break out, then I'm expecting something of similar. You know, gold can do its thing, so I'm expecting something like this, so that price can continue its buy setup. But whatever it has to do, I'm still looking for buys. So these are my buys area, this also. So if price comes back to this or this, I'll still buy. I'll still look for buy setup on gold. And remember, we are targeting these major guys here. These are the guys we are looking for to target. 3.5 is the target for gold. So I'm looking forward to, if I see early entries for this buy setups, I would like to hold down to 3.5, but if I don't, I'll just take profits along the days as price gives what will I call it, price gives entry. Presently on H4 we are just creating higher highs, and this is the first higher, this is the second higher lows we have. This is the first higher low here, so this is the first higher low. So presently we are looking forward to creating a new higher high. So price can wake up on Monday and take out all the sellers here and give us the new higher highs. Then if we come back for higher lows, I'm looking forward to buying. So I'm looking forward to buying on the higher lows, and if price wake up on Monday, break out and retest here, I can still buy down to this area. When I start seeing sellers in, then I close my trade. I wait for it to come back for the next zone to buy, and I look for more buys. I think this is all for gold for this week. We'll just look for more buys. Now, if price go against the buys and price go against the sell, it all depends on what reaction we get from this sell zone. If we get a strong reaction from this sell zone, note we might still revisit this area, because this is the area that I see that price is weakening. There's demand in this area, so if we come back here, we should come deep inside of this area to look for buys. But if we don't, then it means we have moved and we are continuing on the upside. All right, I think that's that for the week. It was a slow week, even if there's a lot of profit to be made, but all the same, we appreciate God for what we have. It was a good one. All right, I think that's that for gold for this week. Do have an amazing preparation for next week. See you guys. Bye.